So, Catherine, I was wondering if you would speak a little bit about fear. Everybody's probably seen the news and knows that this huge cyclone is coming towards the Queensland coast and that it's massive. You know, it's more than what has been in the last 90 years, Category 5, 300 kilometre an hour winds. And watching the news can bring up a lot of fear.
Yes.
Even if it's not for self, not expecting that it's going to come here, there's still a way that fear comes. And throughout the day, as I heard the forecasts, I realised that it's heading straight for where one of my closest friends lives. She's literally where it's going to hit.
Has she evacuated?
She has evacuated from her home and she's gone into another building, the hotel, that has sort of a strong room and still it's right there. They've had a devastating cyclone in the past and it wasn't as large. So in knowing she'll probably be safe, she'll probably be okay, there's still, my experience today has been these waves of fear and feeling anxious and then needing to kind of get on with the day and almost this bouncing back and forth with that. And so just really would like for you to speak about fear, if you could, in that way. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, what you're describing is being a human who cares about her friend and cares about the beings that we can imagine are in danger. And all of the animals that are in danger who are not going to be able to be evacuated. That is on our minds because we're hearing the news. We're not that far from it. So because we are able to sit in our own quiet and our own vast sense of space, our own sense of self extends, right? We can feel this extension of our own heart. And of course we're concerned. Of course it hurts to hear about it. And of course you're particularly concerned because you have your close friend there. So until that thing has gone through and we know what has happened, there is a sense, an apprehension. Now, does that have to take up the entire screen of our awareness? I say it doesn't. And as you say, you got on with the day. So there is, I like to really emphasize this point about coexisting awareness. Our awareness can handle many different components at once. If you're in doubt about that, think about when you're driving your car and you're talking to your friend. And sometimes you're driving your car and you're singing a song or, you know, any number of things. People are putting on makeup in their car while they're driving. You know, we can use our awareness. It can handle many tasks, as it turns out, and one of those tasks can be this awareness, this light awareness, maybe, about what is to be, and a feeling naturally a little apprehensive, a little anxious, a little fear. That's because you're human, because you're a caring human. As you know, as you've been hearing me say these weeks, I have no use for these transcendent philosophies that will say, oh, it's not real, it's not really happening. Right, tell that to, you know, the people whose homes are about to be destroyed. I was just reading on the news the sugar crop here is likely to, a big part of it is going to be destroyed, and many of those sugar farmers don't have insurance. That means they're just wiped out financially. And so on. This is sorrow. This is difficulty. This is the pain of existence where loss comes out of the blue, where things don't stay stable that long, you know. But I think it's a very good understanding that you can start to habituate in, to know that the more you're just familiar with and at ease in your own quiet, the more you're constantly touching that touchstone of peace, even in times of difficulty. And when there's not a time of difficulty rolling, then you can just rest in peace. You can rest at ease. Or then you go along. As I said, I've been hearing, it seems every week, about a friend who has, some loss or some disease or some... And it pings in the heart, it's a little... And I'm very accustomed to that, I expect my heart to get broken fairly frequently, more and more. And I look at what's going on in the world, and, it's hard to be very, very aware of what's going on without tears in your eyes. But at the same time, it's very important to look at the joy, look at the beauty, look at the mercy that goes on. And what we will be seeing here in these days, as this cyclone hits, we will be seeing the greatness of the human spirit as well. We're going to see all kinds of cases, as we just did with the floods, of people helping each other, strangers helping strangers, people taking each other in. There's a way in which sometimes these calamities uplift the spirits so beautifully. So to know that as well, to let your awareness keep including all of these various perspectives.
That was something that did touch me, to really notice the week or 10 days or however long after the floods had happened. It was, I said to Faze, it's such a relief to hear good news.
Yes.
Not that it was good that these people's homes had been devastated, but it was so beautiful that so much of the news was about things that people were doing to help each other.
Yes.
And it sort of, in the wake of that disaster, there was something so amazing that normally you would not be hearing good news.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so I think it's a really good habit for each of us in our daily life and in our daily travails that we face, to keep letting the awareness touch base with the beauty, with the joy. You'll start to manage it yourself, like when you feel you're dipping down too much in worry and gloom. It's awful, it's deadly, it's etc. The world is mad. To let that be your Dharma bell, to wake up into the beauty, the wonder, the joy, the mercies, as I said, the kindnesses, the, selfless acts of beauty. And that lets you include all of it. You don't have to be apologetic for feeling anxious. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.